All right, today I have 5 Gmail tips and tricks that are going to help you simplify, save time, and streamline your email life. So the first one you're going to use is called a super search, and it's already in your Gmail window. It's ready to go. Anytime you want to search for an email, you're typically going to go up here to your search bar and type the name or the subject and hope that what you're looking for pops up. But with the super search, you're going to be able to narrow it down automatically. The problem with not being able to narrow it down is that if it's somebody you communicate with often, you're going to get loads of emails to sort through. So I'm going to click this little arrow, and I'm going to narrow it down by using these different features. So I can choose to tell Google that it's from somebody, that it was to somebody. I can type in what was the subject. I can type in the words that it has or doesn't have. If I know that it had an attachment, I can click that. I could even use the size of attachment. And then lastly, I can use a timeline that I know the email was sent within. So I'm just going to search for an email from Autumn with an attachment. Now right now I've got 84 emails about or with Autumn. And when I click search, it's going to narrow it down to just 5. So that's a great feature you can use. It's going to save you a lot of time when you're looking for something that you know you have in your inbox somewhere. So the next feature is probably my favorite feature. It's called an undo send. And how this works is when you are writing an email and you forget to attach something, when you realize that you have a typing error, when you forgot to tell them something, or when you just want to change your mind after you press send. This is going to allow you to do that. So if I was writing this email and right when I click send I realize, oh my gosh, I have this spelling error, it's going to allow me to undo that, take the email back, fix it, and then send it again. So to enable that, I'm going to go up here to my settings. I'm going to click on settings, and all these different tabs are going to come up. I'm going to stay in this general tab right now. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit until I find undo send. I'm going to enable that, and I'm going to choose a time feature that works for me. 30 seconds tends to be just right. Now, any setting changes I make, I need to go ahead and save down at the bottom, and then it's ready to go. So when I send this email, if I did it on accident before I was ready, a little yellow box is going to pop up, and it's going to allow me to click undo within that 30-second time frame that I set. And it's going to take that email, bring it back to me before it sends it out. Then I can correct any mistakes that I made. I can delete anything or add anything. I can attach an attachment that I forgot to attach, or I can even just delete the email and change my mind. And every time I click send, that little yellow box is going to come up. That is probably my favorite feature that Google has to offer, because all too often I forget to attach something or I notice an error right before I press send. So the next 2 features are also going to be in your settings, but they're going to be in a different tab. So go back to your settings, and you're going to find the tab called Labs. Now, when I sign in every morning, I always open up my calendar, I open up my Drive, I end up opening up my Google Hangouts, and I have everything open all over my screen. This is going to help me streamline my Google process. I'm going to find my Google Calendar gadget. I'm going to enable that. And then I'm going to find my right side chat and enable that. Again, anything I change, I need to save. And what this is going to do is going to bring up a little widget for my calendar over here. And it's going to move my chat to the right side of my screen to make room. Now I've got access to my calendar. I can add events. I can click on events and edit them. It'll take me right to my calendar, and then I've got my Google Hangout chat over here. Now this last feature that I'm going to show you is called Boomerang, and you're going to have to go to a new tab and go to boomeranggmail.com, and you're going to add this to your Gmail. Give whatever permission it needs, and then you might need to refresh your screen. So what Boomerang does is it offers a couple of features like sending an email at a later date, follow-up reminders, and reminding you if you don't hear back from somebody and you needed to. So if I have an email that I know I'm not going to need for a while, for instance, this email is about Digital Citizenship Week and Hour of Code, and I'm not going to need that for at least a month. So what I can do is I can come up to here and click Boomerang, and I can choose a time to have it send back to me. I don't want to hear back until the end of the month. When I confirm, it's going to take that email out of my inbox, and it's going to put it in a folder over here until the date that I chose, and it'll send it back to me as a new email. Anything that you choose to put in your Boomerang is going to be over here. Another cool feature is if you're writing an email and you need it to be sent at a later date, you can choose the Send Later option and have it send at a specific time. I can choose to send it in 2 weeks. I can choose to send it in 1 hour. It's up to you. You can be as specific or non-specific as you'd like. And when you click Send Later, it's going to push that email off into a little folder and hold it there until that time comes. Another great feature is if you know that you need a follow-up from somebody and you want it to remind you if you don't get a reply, you can choose here to boomerang this back to me, bring it back to my inbox if somebody hasn't replied to me by a certain time, and that will remind me to follow up with that person. All right, so those are your 5 Gmail tips and tricks for today. We had our super search, we had our undo send, we put our Google Calendar widget over here, we moved our chat to the right side of the screen, and then we added the Boomerang add-on to my Gmail. Thanks a lot.